Emerson, the American scholar. Influence of past, especially books. According to Emerson, the second great influence on the spirit of the scholar is that of the learning of the past, whether it is in the form of art, literature, or institutions. Books are the most influential out of all these, which lead to the knowledge of the past. Books are a record of immortal truths discovered by scholars belonging to the past. Emerson discusses the advantages or benefits and also the disadvantages or dangers of reading old books. He considers the theory of books as noble. The scholar observes life and actions around him, thinks and analyzes deeply, and pens it down in the form of a book. He is, in a way, transforming or altering life into truth. The quality, standard, or value of a book depends upon the scholar's capability and depth of analyzing, understanding, and presenting facts. Every artist, including a scholar, is influenced by the contemporary society, the conventional and the local. Therefore, he cannot create a perfect book or a book of pure thought. Every book thus presents a partial truth and is inefficient in presenting the total truth before the next generation. And this is a danger that books of an older generation pose to the new generation. Therefore, Emerson suggests that each generation should write its own books. Each generation should create its own literature in order to find out the truth. Emerson, the American scholar. Freedom from slavery of books. Emerson asserts that a scholar must be free from the slavery of books. He says that a scholar should never be subdued by books written by other authors. Books are dangerous because they tempt a writer away from original thought. No book has an authority for all times, so men of every age must write their own books. They must not worship books even if these books are composed by great writers of those times. Young men who have submissive natures go to libraries and read books by Bacon, Cicero, and Locke and accept the views of these authors without asking questions and using their own reasoning power. These men forget that these famous authors were themselves young men like themselves when they wrote these books. Such scholars who are subdued by books cannot become man thinking because they reduce themselves to mere bookworms. They must learn to read books in relation to nature and human constitution. They must not convert themselves to bibliomaniacs or scholars who are madly in love with books. Young minds, according to Emerson, must not be much influenced by books written by others. Instead, they should write their own books. They must learn to critically analyze books before accepting the facts written in them. Emerson, the American scholar, creative reading and creative writing. Emerson says that books, if used well, are best things, but if used improperly, they are worst and harmful things. He says that the best use of books is to use them as an inspiration. He says that the most valuable thing in this world is the active soul. One should never let this active soul to become a slave of ideas contained in the books written by others. This active soul, according to Emerson, sees the absolute truth, speaks the truth, and also creates the truth. The active soul is a genius in action. A genius always looks forwards and creates. He never looks back. Creative manners, actions, and words must arise spontaneously from a scholar's own mind, which can sense good and see truth. So, Emerson says that let your own mind see the truth and do not feed it with the truth seen by other men's eyes or be over influenced by other geniuses. He writes that poets are imitating Shakespeare even 200 years after his death. He says that books should be read in idle times when a person can read God directly, that is through nature or by having a first hand knowledge of the world. He should not waste his precious time by reading books written by others. A scholar must be inspired to write books by reading others' books during his periods of difficulty and distress. Emerson says that there is no doubt that books give us a lot of pleasure. Poetry by Chaucer, Marvell, and Dryden give us much pleasure. We are filled with awe and surprised to read that hundreds of years ago they wrote about things which are so close to our soul and that which we too think and feel and experience today. A person should not confine himself to reading books alone, says Emerson. One must be an inventor or creator to read books. He should be able to read only the authentic parts of a book and reject or overlook the unauthentic portions. A scholar should be able to do this even if he is reading a great author like Shakespeare or Plato. A scholar must read creatively and also write creatively. This can be done by a careful and precise reading of books. Reading some books is indispensable for a wise person, like history and science, which require a lot of time and effort. This can be useful only if it is used to create, that is, to think for himself and not to drill. Thus, we come to the conclusion that books must be read with great caution, and only that which is universal and permanent should be used very skillfully by a scholar